All right. Hello and welcome everybody to the Super Baka Bros channel and tonight's episode of Neighborhood RPG, a show where we bring family and friends together and play in my homebrew D&D campaign, The Magic Jewel Heist. I am your host and game master, Angelo Baca, as always. And with us we have, let me turn this music on. We have a great group of players with us, as always. We're going to get into that introduction real quick. I just want to briefly say thank you, everyone, for being here and experiencing this campaign with us. We all very much appreciate it. I just looked down to make sure I wasn't muted. I'm not. That's great. And I just want to say it's very much appreciated. So thank you all for being here. Now, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into our introductions. We have been off for a week because Phil took a nice vacation, much deserved. And we are now back, and we're going to get it popping. So with that, I say we start off with you, Phil, and if you could, go ahead and introduce your character and something interesting about them.
So my character is Drock the Defiant. He is an half-orc ranger. I didn't think about this ahead of time at all, so I really don't have anything interesting to say.
Okay.
He is, I'll just kind of reiterate things in case we have new viewers. He's the leader of the tribe of the Redeemed, a tribe of kind of outcast orcs who are kind of making a place for themselves in the world. And he came close to dying a couple of times in this last voyage through the ocean. So I think he's probably gotten knocked down a peg a little bit, he'll probably a little less cocky, kind of coming into this new Feywild.
Such a dick. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. That was brilliant. For people who didn't watch the last stream, my character Desi Kelly had a very interesting way of saying the Feywild, and Phil likes to make fun of me about that. So thank you, Phil. I appreciate you bringing that back. And thank you for the donation. We really appreciate that. All the donations you have been giving us has really made this channel. We have a new overlay set up. You can see the transitions and the animations that we're using. And the main reason is because of donations like that. So thank you very much. We very much appreciate it. You're making this channel a lot better and more professional, which is saying a lot because we are not professional at all. So full disclosure. But Phil, great introduction. We appreciate it. Next, we're going to head over to Ted. And Ted, if you could please introduce your character and something interesting about them.
I'm playing Aldrain, the Paladin, off on a quest of vengeance to smite evil throughout the world after his family were killed and village destroyed. Something interesting might be is most don't know he's extremely lonely and bitter and angry due to those events, and that's what drives him. He's not really that violent, but kind of heads up and then it comes out in whole.
That is good to know. You know what? I didn't think he was lonely at all, but I like the way that you played that off, because you're right. He doesn't have a family anymore after his whole village and family was killed. So that is good to know, and I hope he can find some friendship with his new party of adventurers that you have joined. So Ted, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Guys.
Yeah. And finally, we are going to end up with Chandra and her amazing character. And if you could please, Chandra, go ahead and give us some interesting information. See, I'm super professional about Arenalore.
So I am playing Arenalore, the human wizard. And as people who have been following this know, he was kicked out of his fairy world after he stole an ancient text that holds great power, great and terrible. And He's getting pretty nervous walking into this new fairy world, hoping there's no one he knows there.
That is a very, very good point, and I'm glad that Arenalor is thinking about that, because you know what? You never know. It's a small world. So, Chandra, thank you very much for introducing your character and giving a bit of interesting information. I'm going to stop saying that phrase because I fucking can't say it. But thank you for letting us know a bit about Arenalor, the greedy wizard. So, before we get into the recap, because I think that's going to be definitely needed, having a week off, I'm going to bring up real quickly, Phil and I are doing a podcast every Sunday. It's called the Too Much Time Podcast. Sunday mornings at 9 o'clock. Check it out. We typically have discussions about movies, video games, comic books, history from our childhood, culture typically. And we may even be doing a craft podcast in the near future where he and I both paint D&D miniatures. So that's in the plans for the future. So check that out. Too Much Time Podcast, Sunday at 9 o'clock in the morning on the Super Baca Bros channel. I was going to say network, but I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Anyways, so with that, and Cyrus, what's up? Good to see you here. With that, let's go ahead and get into the previously on Magic with the Magic Jewel Heist. Jesus Christ. Okay, so last time, this is so smooth. Last time on the Magic Jewel Heist, I'm calling them the Jewel Thief Hunters, have finally made their way through the Eastern Sea, the deadly Eastern Sea, after encountering this massive kraken, this octopus-like creature that almost destroyed the Feywild, this ship that picked them up from the docks of Monaco, where they narrowly escaped with their lives after killing Lord Bellman Carter, Drock the Defiance, former nemesis, and making way with what little health they had left. Journeyed east into the sea, got attacked by this kraken, the ship almost destroyed. Drock, like he said, was almost killed twice, but they finished off the kraken after 2 sessions, mind you, and they finally journeyed forth and made it to the island, the collection of islands that Desi Kelly, the Fey Tiefling, was trying to take you all to, who was the captain of the Fey voyage. Once getting there, Drock, Arenalor, Aldrain, and Desi, the 4 of you, got on a small rowboat, made your way to shore, took a small 20-minute walk into the forest, and ended up at this smallish pond, like 30-foot diameter. Desi Kelly turned around to the 3 of you and said, "Follow me." Just walked right into the water, her head being covered, and she disappeared. And the 3 of you, Jesus Christ, the 3 of you followed and walked, wading into the water. And as your head was covered by the water, you immediately started rising back up, and you came what looked like a forest, but not the same forest that you were just in, a denser and thicker forest with all kinds of exotic plants you've never seen before in the air, with this sort of thick, humid, almost honey-like feel and taste to it. You're no longer in Kansas anymore, for sure. That is where we left off on the Magic Jewel Heist. So, before we get into everything that is about to happen, I'd like to bring out a good buddy, Nick Bowder. Bill, I don't know if you're frozen or if you're just sleeping, because it looks like you're frozen, unless that's just me. Let's see here. I think Phil's frozen. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not moving. I can't tell if he's just being really still or.
He's moving.
There.
That'd be amazing if he was just sleeping. Oh no, he's there. Phil, can you hear us? Can you say something?
Something.
All right.
Something.
That works for me. So, bring it back. Nick Bowder, Esquire, my former nemesis, now goblet of choice. He would like to greet all of you and ask you to please raise your drinks that you are drinking, whether it be Pepsi, Coke, or water, or 2 mugs for some reason, combination of things.
Regular and diet.
Oh, yeah, regular. Oh, shit. the fancy choice of regular and Diet Coke. Please raise your goblets of choice. And you would like to say, may your dice roll true, and may you make it through. Meh. All right. And with that, the 4 of you, the 3 of you, whatever, whoever you are in this this new land. The forest, like I said, is a lot thicker. The trees are trees that you've never seen before, and the air itself is filled with these like white pollen just flying through the air, so dense it almost looks like a blanket, but it's just cascading through, making you feel almost claustrophobic as you stand there. Jessie Kelly, the blue Fey tiefling with her furry legs and large squirrel-like tail, you see her shaking herself off to get the water off of her, as all of you are soaking wet right now as well. She looks back at you and has a smirk on her face as she says, well, what do you think? This is my island. The Feywild.
It's something.
That it is. That it is. Well, I don't know if you're want to dry yourselves off or should we get going? We got about a 30-minute walk ahead of us.
Let's get going.
Let's move. Dry off while we walk.
I like that. You're a smart man, Paladin. And she turns around without waiting to, without any more conversation, just immediately starts walking on a path that you see, like a small dirt path. And as you start walking, you can hear all kinds of animals in the trees, in the bushes, some way off, some very close. But after about 10 minutes or so, and actually, let's switch over to this, even though this like smooth jazz music I'm vibing on it right now. Let me play this. That's a little bit better. Yeah, there we go. Chat, if you can hear that music, let me know. Music is brought to you by Tabletop Audio. They are an amazing source of ambient music and sound effects. Check them out for your home games or your streams. I love their service, Tabletop Audio. Not sponsored. I wish they were, though. Tabletop, I know you're watching. Reach out to us. That might be too loud now. As you're walking, Aldrain, roll me a wisdom saving throw, please.
You're not.
Well, not that wise either, unfortunately.
Are you telling Ted or Eldrin?
But I do have proficiency in that for a save, so that's a helpful. Plus 19.
Ooh.
Nice.
Music is very low. Okay, let me pump that up just a little more. $19. Okay. So, for a split second, Aldrain, as you're looking around and enjoying the sights that you see, for half a moment, you start to hear this, and it stops as you like focus your ears on it. You think for a moment you hear some sort of a werewolf, and then it instantly, as soon as you think werewolf, it just disappears. You don't hear the noise whatsoever. And Jessie Kelly keeps walking on.
What was that?
You say something?
Ooh,
You're talking to me there, Paladin boy.
Yeah.
No, just Sitting here thinking to myself, why? Would you like to have a conversation, that is?
I'm good. Thought you said something.
No, I think you would know if I said something.
I was breathing a little heavy.
I can see that about you.
It was probably you. You're a mouth breather.
I feel like there's some veiled racism in that, but I'm just gonna ignore it.
As Desi kind of cocks her head to the side for a second. Not but a funny lot, aren't you? Come on, we gotta get to Celicera. And continues walking forward onto the path. And after another 10 or 15 minutes, unless any of you would like to say something to Desi Kelly or anything.
Can maybe just kind of check the surroundings, kind of see, did you decide if this is a forest or not?
It is definitely a forest. Go ahead and roll a perception check. You have advantage.
Because it was just a thing I heard. I don't really heard it. Why? We're good. I'm pretty sure it's not that.
14.
You're doing a perception check. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
So as you're looking around, you can see that this path that you're walking on is a very worn path. But everything else to the left and right of you is super dense, thick forest that you can't even see a way that you could even walk in there. As you look even closer, you can see, like very far off, a large bear-looking animal who is like up in a tree. As you look closer, you see its head, this large head, tilt like almost all the way this way. The beak, this owl-like beak, just kind of clacks. And then turns back.
Do I recognize what that is? I mean, I think I know, but...
give me an animal handling check. Let me,
Animal handling? Oh my God.
How far away is it?
This is like 100 feet away. This is a distance away from you all. 100, maybe 150. 22? Yeah, you absolutely know this is an owl bear, and it is just watching you. Noticing your presence. Doesn't seem to be threatened by you at all, but just notices that you're there.
I'll give it a little smirk and a nod.
It just...
You do you, owlbear.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. I don't know if you speak owlbear, but that's what it says to you.
I don't.
Yeah.
No.
You know an owl bear.
It is a bear and an owl, and it is super goddamn scary. As you walk another 10 to 15 minutes, the trees, these dense trees, open up in this large, like, glade clearing, and the path gets wider. It's like 3 feet wide while you're walking. Once you get to this point, it opens up to 6 feet wide, and it's cobblestone with these gold, like, hexagon stones. And as you get into the clearing, you look up, and in front of you is this large city. Now, when you think of Monaco and the decadence that Monaco is with the buildings and the architecture, as you look up at this city, Monaco looks like the dumps compared to this place. There are large spires of these like emerald, stone, and gem buildings made out of iridescent patchwork, and the road itself looks like Moradin, the creator god, made this himself. As you walk even closer, Desi Kelly turns around to the three of you and goes, "Ah, there she be. Sarah, this is my hometown. What do y'all think of this, eh?"
Oh, there's echo.
Yeah, a little bit of echo,
Pretty
Ted.
impressive.
No, that should be.
It's amazing, actually.
I lived here my whole life.
I've seen better.
I bet you have there, wizard boy. I bet you have. She kind of smiles playfully at you, Arinalor, and then turns back around and says, as she's walking away, "We better hurry. We got to get to the court soon." We got a lot to discuss, so quickly, follow me. And you see her walking now at a faster pace as she's heading into Silasera, the city of the Summer Court. So it's like Sylalsera. Silasera. As you get closer and closer, you see a large contingency of armed elves. They're at the not a gate, because there is no actual physical gate, but an opening, an archway, if you will. And they're all elven guards, and they're everywhere. They're armed with bow and pike and a sword on their waist. Their uniforms are made out of some sort of shiny golden mithril, and the tunics have a white iridescent look to them. As Desi Kelly walks up to them, you see her kind of flick one of her horns and say, "Top of the morning to y'all. Good to see you again. I've brought some friends with me if you don't mind." And they kind of look at each other real quick, and they just turn to the side to let her in. You walk into the city now, and you see numerous different people dressed to the nines in the finest clothing you've ever seen. As Desi's walking, and she kind of turns her head and starts talking to you. All right, here's what's going to happen, folks. We're going to talk to the Queen. She has a bit of information she's going to want to give you. But first, I want to know if you want to maybe stock up on some items here. There's a enchanted shop, one of the best in all the plains. I recommend you go check them out when I go get a messenger to send word to the Queen herself. I can meet up with you there if that works for you.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah.
Good. I'm going to need it. The Feywild is a dangerous place. The Feywild.
The what?
The Feywild, that is. It's a dangerous place.
That seems pretty
Doesn't
nice.
seem that bad.
Yeah.
Just remember you said that there, Paladin boy. So look, we're going to go up the road here.
How do we get to this shop?
I'll tell you right now, if you'd be quiet.
She's trying to tell us.
You head up the road there. Take a left. Take a right. You'll find it straight ahead. You'll notice the building, trust me. And she turns to you, Arena Lore, and says, "Do me a favor, keep an eye on the Paladin here."
Always.
I don't want any trouble. It will not end well for him.
It doesn't usually, to be fair.
I'll be fine.
Okay, I trust you.
I think it's them you got to worry about.
Just, seriously, all three of you, don't do anything stupid. This isn't like Monaco. They're not going to talk to you, they'll just take you out.
Oh.
Alright, listen, I'm going to go get the messenger. I'll see you at the shop.
Straight ahead.
Straight, left, right, and then a left. Do you got that?
We're meeting you at the Queen. Is that what you said?
Oh, you're going to go to the enchanted shop. I'll meet you there. I'm going to go find a messenger to let them know the Queen that we are coming. We can't just walk onto the main door and expect the Queen to come see us right away.
I thought this was your island.
Well, it is my island, but it's also many other people's island.
That seems to create a paradox, but okay.
Well, you'll understand. The Feywild is a paradox in itself.
The what?
Feywild!
Oh, okay.
All right. I'll meet you there. Begone with you. And she just takes off, heading north into the center of town, leaving you three to your own devices.
So we're going to go try to find the shop, or do you guys want to wander around and see what we see?
Well, she put Arena Lore in charge of us not getting into trouble, so what do you think?
Well, we're not going to get in trouble. I just, yes. When have I gotten us in trouble?
Like,
No.
today? or just in general?
I think we should go to the store and then maybe find some or no?
Desi didn't tell us where to meet her after.
I think she'd meet us at the store.
Oh.
I was confused as well. I mean, for being her island, I would have thought she would have given, more detailed
Maybe like
directions. Yeah, but what if we need to go to more than one type of store? I mean, does the store have everything? Is there just one type of store in the entire island?
I could go for some food.
Yeah.
I mean, hypothetically, they might have food at the store, but who knows? She didn't tell us.
Well, let's go to the.
And then we'll go somewhere else in the back to the store.
We'll just play it by ear.
Okay. Store then. So it was a.
Take a left. Take a right.
Up the
and then
road.
Straight.
Then left.
Up the.
Then left and then right.
And then.
So you could just say that you want to follow her directions to the shop itself, and then we could just go from there.
Yeah.
No.
You're not going to make us get lost.
I mean, no. I could have you roll something, but let's not do that. So as you all... Wait a second. As you all head deeper into town, you see a lot of elves in this place. A couple of satyr as well, all dressed very fancy, very nice looking. Everyone gives you not a strange look, but they all look at you. They all notice you. They have not seen many human, and you do not see any humans in Silicera at all. You follow Oh, go ahead.
Do they respond any differently to half-orcs? Or is it about the same?
You see that most of the male elves look at you in a very mean look. They do not like the cut of your jib. And as you're walking...
Is it all of us or just the orc?
Just Drock. Phil, give me a perception check real quick if you want some more detail.
Because I'm not a bad guy, but him, I could see. Fuck.
Yeah, Aldrain, if you want to roll too, that's fine too. What'd you roll?
6.
I got a 13 total.
13. Riddlor, if you want to roll perception as well, that's fine. Go for it.
All right. Ooh, 18.
Okay, so Drock, as you're looking around, you feel almost, even though the city is wide open, it's not like Thunbaldur, the dwarven city in the mountain. You feel claustrophobic in here. The buildings, the atmosphere, you really aren't getting a good look at people and their intentions. Aldrain and Arenalor, you can tell that Drock is getting some kind of mean bugs, some ugly stink eye toward him as you're walking the directions that Desi gave you.
Is it everyone I notice, or is it just like random people here and there, or is it like everybody's got the
Every male gives Drock that look. Most of the females try not to even notice the whole group of you, but every male, all the noble elves, definitely the elven guards, they all give Drock a very stink eye sort of look.
Wow, I wonder. I'm going to make a note to ask Desi at a later point about that.
Sounds good. You follow the path that Desi gives you, and you turn a corner, and as you do, you see almost in the center, like this, the road goes straight, and it opens up left and right and circles around. And in the center of this circle of the road, you see a very small building. It looks to be probably the simplest architecture of all of Silicera. The paint on the walls are like peeling, and the door itself is like slightly crooked on the hinges. It's not a tall building, but as you like look up at the roof, you notice that it actually looks even shorter because the roof is kind of slumping downward. There's a small sign on the door, and then another large sign above the door on the eave, and it says Lady Rowena's Enchanted Shop.
That's the big sign?
That's the big sign. You're not close enough to see the small sign. You gotta walk forward.
Oh. Well, let's keep moving.
You walk up to the door, and as you all look at it, the small sign that is, you see this, it's almost like a red paint, shiny red paint to the lettering. Drock, what do you speak?
Common, Orc, and Dwarvish.
And then Aldrain, you only speak Common?
Common.
And then Irinalor, you speak Elvish, Sylvan, Common,
And Orc.
French, German.
Yes, all the languages.
So, Drock and Irinalor, you read the sign, and you see it in all of these languages. It's in Orc, and it's in Sylvan. It's in anything you can read. As you read it, it kind of changes to whatever language you may know. And the sign itself says, closed until further notice.
Oh.
Can I just check the door and see?
Sure, go ahead and do an investigation check.
I gotta investigate to try to... Okay. Investigation is intelligence. Oh, come on, really? 19.
As you go to open the door to see if it's unlocked, you look at it a bit closer and your hand stops as you see some sort of shiny enchantment on the doorknob itself. It gives you pause. Makes you hesitate to even touch the door handle.
Hey, Drock, I think the door might be unlocked. Do you want to open it for me?
It says that they're closed, actually. I'm able to read this sign. So I know more than just common.
Oh, shit. Hooah!
Yeah, but sometimes they don't really mean what they say. You know, like, do not disturb, but really, they might want something.
As, unlike you, as a man of honor, I honor their desire to not be bothered, whether they forgot to lock the door or not.
Is there a window we can look in?
Yeah, there's two smaller windows on the side. They seem to be, like the wooden side paneling is closed over it, so you cannot see inside of the windows themselves.
I'm going to give a good hearty knock on the door.
Sure. Give a nice knock on the door itself, and after a couple of moments, nothing. No one comes to the door, or you don't even hear any sort of rustling inside or anything like that. Absolutely nothing. And as you're standing there, you hear from behind you, two male guards walk up and say, Can we help you two? Oh, and your orc friend as well. Can we help you three?
Desi sent us to check out Rowena's place.
Desi sent you. Desi who?
Yeah,
How are they supposed to know?
I don't know. It's her island, right?
It's not.
Her island. Come away from the door,
Yeah.
please.
Do you, Aldrain, do you remember earlier when you asked when was the last time you got us into trouble?
trouble.
Oh, really?
I think I remember now.
I'm just chatting with the locals.
How about we step away from the door and have a conversation from Lady Rowena's shop?
I step away from the door.
Okay. The main guard, he's looking at you and talking to you, but the other guard is eyeing Drock while the main guard is talking. So why don't we start from the beginning and let us know who you all three are and what you're doing.
We'll be on our way.
No.
It's just a simple misunderstanding.
No. And you see him go to put his hand on his sword. I asked you a question. Who are you and what are you doing in our city?
So, do I remember the name of the ship?
Give me a history check.
I mean, if you wrote things down, but I thought
If you wrote stuff down, then go for it. And you can do that.
I didn't write down the name of the ship, but maybe Drock did. It's like I'm rolling a history check.
You did not remember the name.
You'll not remember.
Seems like you have something you want to say, human.
Captain Desi brought us here on a ship. We landed on her island. We walked into the pond, and then we followed the path here. She went off to speak with someone and said we should check out Rowena's place.
Walked into the pond. Breathe into my hand, please. How have you been drinking, sir?
Not recently.
Okay, I think, and he goes to turn to the other guard and starts to say something. And as he does that, you hear down the street, "Hey, what are you doing? Leave my friends alone." And Desi Kelly comes walking down the street toward the three of you. "Oh, what you doing in there? Looks like you got yourself into a bit of trouble there, Paladin boy."
No.
To be fair, you did put a Renalor in charge of him.
Yeah, what happened to Renalor? Do I gotta put Drock in charge of all of you?
He doesn't listen to anyone.
I'm just trying to explain to your friends that we're just going to Rowena's place.
Well, then
Nothing wrong.
go into Rowena's place. What are you doing?
Quick question. Desi, I'm just curious. What is the name of your ship again?
She looks at the guard and then looks over back at you, Drock. My ship is the Fey Voyage.
What was it again?
The Fey Voyage.
Drock chuckles.
And she turns to the guards. We all done here. I need to talk to my friends. Be gone with you. And you can see the guards have a look of recognition of who Desi is. And they both kind of sheepishly nod their heads. Yes, madam. Sorry. Just want to make sure there was no trouble happening here. The three of you, be on your best behavior. And as they turn away...
I apologize for the paladin.
The main guard who was talking looks at you and just nods his head. Appreciate it, sir. Turns around and they walk away.
Thank you for your service.
I don't say that.
Desi looks at the three of you. What's going on? Why didn't you go into the shop?
Says it's closed.
Oh, there's no way it's closed. Lady Rowena has been open for thousands of years. Moves like past you to look at to go like into the door and stops. Oh shit. This is not good. Well. Alright, well forget all of this. We gotta go anyways. We'll figure something else out later.
New York, that big guy.
What was that?
How come everyone keeps giving New York the
He's an orc. Orcs are not... They are not liked around here. No offense, Drock. I know you're a good lad. But there's a long history of orcs and elves. Long wars against each other. I should have warned you
like
about
where
that.
I come from either.
Well, to be fair, no one really likes your kind either, Paladin.
think that's more of a personality.
Yeah,
defect,
nothing.
though.
Red Lord, nothing to humans. More specifically to him. Let's get going. We gotta get to the queen.
So we're not gonna get cleaned up before we go.
We don't got time for it. I thought you would all be shopping and getting your items by now, but if the shop is closed, we better get to the royal court. Talk to the queen as quick as we can.
Do they have other shops in town we may be able to visit after talking to the
Of course
queen?
they have other shops in town, but not like Lady Varina's. It's the most enchanted shop. Has the most rare items that you can find in all of the Feywild.
What?
The Feywild.
Oh, okay.
If you need supplies, we can go to another shop and get simple supplies, torches, wouldn't mind you. But if you're looking for enchanted, powerful items, Lady Varina is the only place to go. If you're hungry, I can give you some rations.
All right, let's go see the queen.
Is that okay with you, Doc?
That sounds lovely.
Beautiful. Avenelor, if you would please, follow me. And she... Go ahead.
Would there be any deferential mannerisms that we should know before meeting this queen? Before we offend it?
Make sure that you bow when you greet the queen and the Sealy court. They are the most powerful people here in Sarasara. Also, there is a aide of the queen herself. And he's a bit of a weird chap, to be honest with you, so don't mind him too much. If he talks a bit sideways at you, he's just taking a piss.
Okay.
And she's walking this whole time as we're talking. You're getting deeper and deeper into the town itself. As you get deeper into this city, at the very center, the ground is the fanciest anywhere that you see. And it opens up, and you see a bridge. It starts right in the middle of the road, and it goes upward. And this long, long bridge goes higher and higher and higher. And as you look up, you see this palace, this floating palace that is made out of diamonds. It's the ground itself, like as if somebody took the earth and the palace and lifted up, comes to a jagged point. The palace itself has two large spires and a very gorgeous looking rainbow gate. There's definitely more elven guards everywhere, and they are probably the strongest looking elves out of all of the guards that you have seen. Desi continues to walk toward the bridge and says, the palace. Now please, be on your best behavior as we get closer to the queen herself. She knows that we're coming, but we don't want to piss any of these people off.
I was saying earlier, Drox kind of feels a little off after the battle, and he's a little out of sorts. So he's gonna kind of like bow to every single person they walk by.
And as Drock does that, a lot of them kind of are not like mean mugging him, but just kind of like, okay, all right. Every time you do that, all right, okay. Aldrain, give me a wisdom saving throw, please. You're getting closer and closer to the main gate area. And as you get to this rainbow-looking gate, the guards there nod their heads and kind of part ways. Desi goes, "The queen, she's waiting for us."
How do you know the queen?
Oh, you know, I have a long family lineage that's been very close to the queen here. We're not, best friends per se, but My family has been strong protectors of the Feywild.
The what?
The Feywild. What'd you roll?
I was gonna say I like it when you have me roll saves that I'm proficient in, but I have a +4 bonus to a natural 1.
So as you're getting right to the gate, you pass the 2 guards, and all of a sudden, like out of nowhere, it sounds as if right next to your ears, a bug tries to fly in my face. Get out of here. That's not what happens. As if it's right next to your ear. Yeah, just a bug flies next to your face, and you go, right next to your ear, as loud as can be, you hear, this loud howling werewolf sound makes you jump for a second, as you swear to God there has to be something next to you. As you turn around, you see nothing.
I'm gonna take a fight stance and get ready to draw my sword as I kind of look around.
As you do that, the guards right next to you, they go for their swords. Desi Kelly turns around and goes, no, it's okay. It's okay. He's just,
I'm not drawing it. I'm just,
they see you go to grab your sword, and they all react to that way. And she says to the guards, it's okay. It's his first time here in Sarasota. He's a human. He doesn't know how to act. It's fine. He's with me. And the guards kind of look hesitant at first and slowly let go of their sword hilts and just eye you as you kind of look around.
I'm gonna lean toward Drock and Arenalor and let them know I'm pretty sure a werewolf's stalking us. I heard it earlier and I heard it again now.
I didn't hear anything.
I didn't hear anything.
You just don't know what to listen for.
Desi Kelly comes up to you. What are you doing, Paladin? Are you trying to get us killed? What are you hearing?
I'm pretty sure we're being stalked by a werewolf.
A werewolf? Oh, shit. Have you killed a werewolf in the past?
Remember that one was gonna run away, and you. This is just.
If you.
Yeah.
2 or 3.
We're going to have to get that healed. You got lichen fever. If you've killed a werewolf and you've come to
I'm pretty sure.
if you can no, it's not jungle fever. This is a bit racist there, Drock. Lichen fever. If you've killed a no, it's not cool, man. Not cool. If you've killed a werewolf and come to the Feywild, you can hear and see hallucinations of werewolves. What have you seen so far? Have you seen a werewolf?
Not yet, but I'm pretty sure it's following us. I've heard it a few times.
Oh, shit. We're gonna need to find a cleric. Unless, Renner Lord, you have any greater restoration spells or anything?
No, I don't.
Oh, shit. Listen, Aldrin, if you think you hear a werewolf while we're talking to the queen, shut your mouth and just sit there and don't do anything. There's no werewolf. It's all in your head, okay? I promise, you're fine. We're going to die here. I think we're going to die here.
I've heard that before.
Oh, shit. Listen, let's go. And she keeps walking forward. You get to this large chamber that a lot of different noblemen and noblewomen are walking around. You see some sort of fancy aide walk up to the 3 of you as Desi Kelly is kind of looking off to the right, and this aide in really slick-looking tunic and slick-back gray hair. He walks up to the 3 of you and goes, "Welcome. How can I help you today?" "Oh, Desi Kelly, I didn't know that you were bringing guests." Turns around and goes, "Ah, Georgina, how are you doing? These are my friends here. Georgina, this is Druk the Defiant, Ardrain the Brave, and Renalor the Greedy. Did I say that right?
Sounded good to me. Oh, you guys are muted.
Are they muted?
Yeah.
Ted, I think you're muted. Yeah, you're muted, Ted. He's like, oh shit, I'm muted.
I had the character sheet over there. I think I hit the space button accidentally.
Oh, you're okay.
Can I do a sense evil? I'm pretty sure a werewolf is stalking.
Yeah, go ahead. You go to sense, good or evil, and what is it, 60 feet?
A response to her
60.
name.
Yep.
As you look around, you have no sense of evil at all, especially coming from behind you. Looking forward ahead of you, you get this large, bright sense of white goodness that is like when you look that direction, it's through a wall. There's a large door, but when you look that direction through the wall, the brightness of this entity is so bright it's almost painful to even look that way.
Gonna lean over to Drock and go, it's retreated for now.
Shit.
I'm going to say out loud, I think Aldrain is losing his mind.
That happens sometimes here in the Feywild. Friends, this is Georgina. He is the top aide to the Queen. Queen Tatina.
Thank you so much for having us in your fair city.
It's good to meet you. Thank you all for coming here. I hear you have a meeting with the Queen coming up. Yes, that we do. Is it okay if I go in now? We got a lot to talk about. That's fine. Please, you can follow me. And this elderly elven nobleman walks toward the large doors and opens them up. And as he does, the chamber that it opens up to is this massive diamond-shaped chamber that has like a stained glass mural on the back side of the wall. And the mural itself looks like this ferocious battle between elves and devils and orcs. So one side has elves, the other side has a bunch of different looking devils, like barb devils and chain devils, pit fiends, all kinds of stuff, and a whole contingency of orcs along with them. And in the centerpiece, you see this, what has to be the queen, this tall elven woman who is clashing their weapon with a pit fiend, this winged pit fiend that's like 3 times her size. As you look at it, you realize like the precision, the detail of like the sweat coming down their faces and everything. It draws all of your attention as you walk in. Underneath that, at the ground level, are these hexagon-shaped like desks that spire upwards. They start out like 3 feet, 4 feet, 5 feet, 6 feet. As they get higher and higher, there's different looking noblemen and women, aristocrats. At the very, very top, you see this white-haired elven woman. And she's wearing an emerald half-plate armor over what looks like a bright white gown that reflects light as it moves, and it like cascades over it, reflects off of it. And her hair is this like bright white, and it shimmers whenever she moves her head side to side. Standing next to that person, you see a very tall elven nobleman, and his tunic looks to be made out of some sort of exotic material as well. And his hair, you don't see like a hair sticking out from anywhere. Like everything is perfectly placed. But he stands 2 feet behind the queen and doesn't seem pleased by the group of you walking in, specifically you, Drock, as you step into the chamber. Georgina, the queen's aide, walks in and loudly greets the court. It says, "I'd like to introduce to the court, please, Desi Kelly of the Feywild and her guests, Drock Defiant, Aldrain the Brave, and Renalor the Greedy. Queen Titania, here is your next appointment." The queen bows majestically toward Georgina, and he steps back. As she stands up, looming over the three of you, you see Desi Kelly bow very graciously, almost all the way forward.
I'm gonna meet.
You're gonna what?
Do the same thing.
Okay.
I'll do a half. Oh.
Okay.
To the best.
You all kind of bow, Drock very elaborately.
Spin.
Little spin move. Oh. A bow and a spin. Drock, thumbs up. Jesus Christ, buddy, thumbs up, point as well.
Buddy Christ.
Buddy Christ, there we go. Sorry, messed it up. As the queen acknowledges your bows and spin maneuvers, you hear her voice start
Can
to...
I do a perception? I know I'm kind of derailing this.
No, go ahead.
Can I do a perception check to see if she was impressed?
Absolutely. How about do an insight check
My bow.
to get an idea of her motive? And Aldrain, as you step into the room, because this is still active, your sense good or evil, the queen herself is the one that is just radiating with this white, bright light of good energy. You almost need to shut it off to even look at her. That's how bright it is.
Interesting.
What'd you get, Phil? Where'd you freeze? Might have been a freeze. I'll just continue talking. You can let me know what his insight check is. Phil, you there? Something's happening. Okay, so as Phil, you're still frozen if you can hear me.
I think he's frozen because his mic is going green, showing he's picked.
Yeah, and I kind of hear something, but it doesn't.
I
Weird.
think he's just being very still.
Stop.
No, it's definitely frozen. He's not even blinking. If he's sitting there like just holding it, not blinking, that's impressive. That's all I gotta say.
I think he's just sitting there holding it up. I think he's messing with you.
Well, if he is, that's on him. So as your as the queen nods to you. No, see, he's gone.
That was frozen. Okay, well. I guess I was wrong.
As the queen, God damn, this is important. Actually, shit, he should hear this. I hope you're all having a good stream, everyone. Hope you're enjoying the show. And if you haven't already, hit that follow button.
Smash that like and subscribe button.
Smash that comment in the didgeridoos. And oh, wait, we got something happening here. Let's go ahead and I'm actually going to let's see here. You there, Phil?
There we go.
You good?
I was here the entire time.
Yeah, I bet you were.
I didn't move at all.
You're right, you definitely did not move.
Just staying still.
Just completely still. So I'm going to drop our link tree in the chat. If you want to follow us on Facebook or Instagram, Twitter as well, go ahead and do that. Now, as Phil is back, what was your insight check on the Queen?
It was a 1.
Oh shit! You have no idea. As you're looking at this person, you're overwhelmed by the absolute beauty and overwhelming presence of this queen. You have no idea what she is thinking. And she nods very slightly to all of you. She starts talking. It is a pleasure to see all of you here in my court. I am Queen Titania, and I welcome you. Please, come forward. We have much to talk about, and very little time. Desi Kelly walks in, and you see some desks in front of the large seating aperture of the royal court itself. I'm sure your journey was long and very dangerous where you came from, and I appreciate you all being here. I just want to say that alone, we very much appreciate that. But I think all of us need to have a serious conversation on what has happened and what is going to happen with Monaco and the nefarious plan that has been going on there. If you could please, the three of you, let me know what has happened there, and I will fill in the rest that I know.
Ooh, that's a long story.
Perhaps a Renalor, as opposed to Eldraine, could summarize our experiences, just to be safe.
I'm not good at talking. I'll let a Renalor take this.
Desi goes, aye, very wise.
So, you were brought in by the Ministry of the Weave to protect a jewel.
Magic.
So, after doing some searching, we killed a couple of big creatures.
Manticore.
A manticore.
You might have heard of us.
No, I'm just talking about the ones that had the red jewel.
Some werewolves.
Manticore had
Just
a ritual.
had the werewolves.
It's some werewolf.
Her eyebrows kind of raise when she hears werewolves. Go ahead, go on.
But the manticore and the minotaur both had these red that would let them regenerate, and we broke the red jewel, and then we were only able to kill them. And it appeared to be some soul escaping the jewel after. One of these jewel pieces were also on one of our that was with us. What's her name?
You still have the thing.
Fuck.
The scepter looked.
And then, so long story short, there's something bewitching jewels, and we don't know who it is. We have our suspicions on some people, but we don't feel comfortable sharing those in the presence of so many people here.
Well,
Prefer to speak privately.
we also learned about the Ettercap, which my arch rival, now deceased, Lord Bellarmine Carter, had helped to facilitate bringing into the city of Monaco.
And as you say that about Lord Bellarmine Carter deceased, you hear some murmurs from everybody as they all start talking to themselves. The queen kind of raises her hand for silence. Please, Defiant Drock, continue.
Thank you, Your Highness. We were working with Sakun Darkbreaker, a very noble dwarf, trying to figure out what purpose they were bringing in. I think we had found an invoice that said that they had about 100 Ettercap that they had transported into the city for some nefarious reason, though we never learned to what end.
I see. And that is all that you know of what's going on?
Well, we're pretty sure the royal family seems to be acting against the ministry, trying to steal their jewel. Luke Lyon was involved. He was kind of a cool guy, I thought, but the ministry was like, "Oh, he's trying to steal this," but then other people were like, "Oh, he's a cool guy." But I never really got a good feel for him, to be honest.
Okay. And she kind of looks to the rest of her crowd, her court. She says, "Then it is what we feared the most. So, it would seem, Drock, that the Ettercap that you helped Lord Bellamy Carter capture has now started to invade the Feywild. As of now, the northern region of the Feywild has over 300 Ettercap, possibly even more, infesting the caves and the treetops of that area.
An awful lot.
Yes, it is. These Ettercap are not like any Ettercap that we have seen. They've been mutated or modified into some sort of grotesque, freakish horror that we've never encountered before. But on top of that, you are correct. It would seem that the royal palace, or peoples in the royal palace, are trying to get the magic jewel. That is something that we cannot allow. I would like to show you all something, if I may.
It'd be my honor.
She
Sure.
You may.
tips her head. The lights that are like floating up in the ceiling dim down, and
Oh, she's good.
all of a sudden, in the wall of where the royal court is seated, a circular aperture like opens up, and you see this liquid, like fluid, start to move around. And as it starts to settle, you get a picture of a place that you've all been before. It's the Royal Palace of Monaco. And almost this like bizarro version of where you are now. You see the Royal Palace of Monaco mirrors, not in the exact design, but the lineup and formation of the main throne with royal aides sitting lower and lower to the main prince. You see Prince Albert sitting there, and then one side, Prince Norman Smith. The other side, you see a couple of more aides and guards all surrounding them. As there's a moment of silence and no one talking, finally, the Prince Albert, he starts to speak. Well, it seems to me that we have ourselves a bit of a problem, and that we are going to have to rectify that. I want the people that killed my god captain and attacked our palace found. What do we know about their whereabouts? Prince Norman Smith, the pale complexion with his blue bird on his shoulder, stands up and says, well, it's a bit of a tricky predicament that we're in. It seems the Fey voyage and our female quarry that we were trying to capture has vanished. Pirate Prince Chi, and before he can continue to talk, Prince Albert interrupts him and says, of the Eastern Seas, remember? Yes, of the Eastern Seas. Has headed east to track them down and find out where they might be. But I feel like we have a bigger problem than that here and now that we have to address. And as he finishes talking, some guard walks in and kind of nods his head and says, my lord, he is here. The prince kind of nods his head briefly. Keep him waiting outside. Let him know who's in charge here. Just for a moment. We'll call him in when we're ready for him. You were saying, Norman Smith. Yes. We have a more dire predicament here in Monaco. I believe for everyone here that we all know that the Ministry of the Weave has lost any sort of sense of control over their organization. And it would be the best for all of us if we were to take a vote of no confidence in the minister, Ruben Scapaldi, for us to, I don't know, take control of the ministry during these trying times. As the magical jewel has been in control of the ministry, it would be best that we make sure that it is secure. That way Loop Lion or the jewel thief hunters don't make some sort of grab at it while the ministry is in total chaos. You see the prince kind of nodding to himself. Yes, that would be a tricky thing to do. We would need to put somebody in place as the minister for Ruben Scapaldi. And we would need some support from the ministry members themselves. You see Prince Norman Smith kind of nodding. Oh, I think we can manage that. His second-in-command, Wesley, and I have been talking, and I think he'd be a perfect person to take over. And I think, if I may, my lord, if I could talk with Darnda Forger, the cleric, I might be able to convince her to listen to me. I have been pretty persuasive in the past, and I know she has feelings for me. There's a bit of an echo, Ted, just to let you know.
I don't know how.
I'm sure if I were to be as persuasive as I always am, that she would listen to reason. And that we would have a peaceful transition of power. That way, the jewel would be in safe hands, and then we can strengthen our borders here. The Pirate Prince could find
Now it's off.
those tricky jewel thief hunters, or they come back and make a move and we capture them anyway. Either way, it's a win-win. What do you say? Prince just sits there quietly for a moment. Well, I think it is the best decision that we can make. What do you think we can do here and now to strengthen our borders? Well, our guest outside would be the perfect person for that. Shall we invite him in? The prince stands up and says, "Yes, please. Invite him in. I'd like to have a word with him." As the doors open up, you see this tall, 8-foot figure walk in. You hear some sort of, like, teeth being licked and being messed with, and this large red tail just swishing back and forth on the tile. As Bosk, the Dragonborn, walks into the main chamber, and he's picking some food out of his teeth. Ah, the legendary Boss the Bounty Hunter. It is a pleasure to finally have a conversation with you. As I'm sure you know the predicament that we are in, we are looking to hire you for your services and tracking down Drock the Defiant and his little band of thieves. Just Bosk, the Dragonborn, is kind of looking around, not really even paying attention to the prince. He sits there for a second and finally looks at the prince and says, "Well, I think we could arrange something. I have a few stipulations to my hiring, if I could voice them." The prince bows very, 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 very slightly and says, "By all means, please. First, I would like to be paid very handsomely. Very handsomely. And not in just gold, but in the finest food that the palace has. Forever. For the rest of my life, I would like to never have to pay for any food here in Monaco." The prince nods, and you see Norman Smith just kind of look indignant and cross his arms behind the prince. "I believe that definitely can be arranged without any sort of trouble. And what is your other stipulation?" Boss the Bounty Hunter focuses gaze at the prince, Albert, and with a serious look to his eyes, he says, "When we find them, I get the paladin. I want him. I'm going to eat the flesh off his bones. And no one else.
What?
No one else will touch him. Do we make myself clear?"
Is that what?
Albert kind of looks a little bit grossed out for a half a second and then nods his head. "By all means, I understand. Just know this, that when you find them, and do what you want with the paladin, he is beneath our interest, especially after I offered a very gracious deal. But the rest, you must capture alive. And if you can't, keep Desi Kelly alive. She's really the only one that we are needing. Do I make myself clear?" Boss kind of nods and goes, "Crystal." And as this conversation comes to a close, the aperture kind of warps and the water sort of disappears and the circle vanishes into the seating area of the royal court. The queen looks at the four of you and says, "I think we all can realize how serious this is and what we're going to have to do."
We're gonna have to kill Bosk.
If it comes to that, maybe. But most importantly, you three are going to have to steal the magic jewel. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Whoa.
Alrighty.
No, we gotta kill Boss.
You gotta survive, Bosk, bitch. That's what you gotta do. That motherfucker does not like you.
What did I do?
You know what you did. You know exactly what you did.
You won the tournament.
Not my fault.
Doesn't matter, man. Bosk is of simple interests, and he is after you. So, with that, thank you everyone for being here and experiencing this session. It is probably one of the most important ones, kind of leading us toward the next sort of chapter of where we're going to be. So thank you for being here. We really appreciate it. Ted, Chandra, Phil, you all are amazing. I love your role playing so much. You're doing a great job. And this next session in the Feywild should be a very interesting one. We did not... the Feywild!
Okay.
I almost feel like it's Wayne's World! Wayne's World!
It sounds more like, what's that, Lemon Winks? Or
Lemon Winks.
the gerbil from South Park?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Lemmy Winks, Lemmy Winks.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. I'm just stealing that accent, or that impersonation is what I'm doing. So please, everyone, stick around next week for that session. Unless there's anyone got anything going on, or are we on for next week?
Do you think we'll be able to do it with your mom here?
We
What?
understand. We understand if you need to take it off.
My mom's gonna be in town for Addie's birthday, so yeah, I think we might have to skip.
Okay, that's fine. We totally understand. All of us have lives and family. We gotta respect that. So we totally understand.
Can you just sleep?
What's that?
I'm sorry, that's mean. I shouldn't.
It's all good. I didn't hear what you said, so we can just ignore it then.
It's your mother-in-law. It's okay.
I said just let's basically send her to bed and take over the house.
Nice. So when we do come back from our break and do this next session in the Feywild is going to be a very interesting one. We'll find out how sick Eldraine is in the head with lichen fever, and what they're going to have to do in the Feywild itself. So everyone, thank you all for following. We really appreciate it. Please hit that follow button on not only the Twitch, YouTube channel. We have Instagram where I do my miniature crafts and also just my stupid content that I put on there. Twitter as well. Phil or Ted, Chandra, do y'all have anything you'd like to say?
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for watching and for running the game.
You're very welcome, and people in the chat appreciate all of your role playing. You're all doing an amazing job, and there's been some very funny moments this stream. So please check out our podcast on Sunday, 9 o'clock, Too Much Time podcast. This week, I think we're either playing Fortnite or... Yeah, I think it's Fortnite. Yeah, we're doing some Fortnite. There's an event going on, so we'll be playing some video games. And also, separate from that, I am doing a Dead Space stream. I think I'm like 4 chapters into Dead Space right now, so if you like horror, survival horror in space, that is the game for you. And I try not to pee myself, so that's the main objective while I play that game. So check that out. That's very much try is the word. I don't have a set time because I have 3 amazing kids and a partner and whatnot, so it's whenever I can find time. But if you hit that follow button, you'll get the notification and watch that because it is a very entertaining stream. Ted, Chandra, Phil, thank you all. You're amazing, beautiful human beings. Everyone else, out there, please be kind to yourself and others. Simple thing that you can do to make this world a easier and better place to live in. It is a tough, weird time that we are living in, so let's try to do what we can to make it a better place. And as always, please stay hydrated. We love you all. We'll see you next week.